Boruto Chapter 37. Arguably one of the most anticipated chapters of the entire series, as it looks like it's finally going to give us a glimpse to a fight that the fanbase has been looking for now for probably over 2 years. But with all the possible directions that this chapter could potentially go in, there is simply one thing that I'm looking for from this chapter, and that is answers. Yo, what is going on, Senpai Squad? Welcome back to a brand new video, and today, as I'm sure you can already tell, we're going to be previewing chapter 37 of Boruto. Now, dialogue is going to be such a vital factor, in my opinion, for this chapter, because there's just so many things, such as Jigen, what Jigen wants, what is the Karma Seal, what is Kara's goals, what is going on with Kawaki's transformation, which we all just want to have some form of clarity on. And now I don't expect us to get answers and clarity and just know everything about all of those in this one chapter, because quite frankly that'd be stupid and I don't want that in the slightest. But I want us to start building on it. I want to know more about Jigen for sure. I want to know at least some form of idea about what Kawaki is in terms of a vessel and what Kara's goal is, because as of right now, I'm struggling to kind of get connected with Kara, because although I know they need Kawaki because he's a vessel for whatever reason, that's it. Why? Why do they need a vessel? Why have they been built? What is their goal? That is one of the main things, more than anything, that I want to know the answer to. And only Jigen is the one capable of giving us answers, because at this moment, Kawaki, bless him, he's tried, he's ran as far as his legs will let him essentially, but he's told us everything he knows. Jigen is the only one left. Jigen is going to have to, and I think he will, act as a mouthpiece towards us readers, explaining some of the goals, what's going on with Karma, the true form or whatever it is that Kawaki's taken on. I expect answers on all of that. So yeah, I think more than anything, the one thing I want is just some answers and dialogue. The last thing I want is a repeat of Delta versus Naruto. I just don't want chapters after chapters of just taijutsu fight scenes with, to be honest, quite uninspiring paneling and art with next to like minimal plot progression. Now, I believe that I actually commented on some of these things in my review for chapter 36, but I want to kind of go into some more detail on them now. These are just some of the possibilities I can see happening in the new chapter. Starting with some Sasuke and Uchiha greatness. Now, we know that Sarada looks to be on her way towards Naruto, completely unknowing of the quite literal monster, really, that she's heading towards. And judging by all the foreshadowing from last chapter, something has happened to Sasuke. Now, I can envision this scene going on where Sarada gets there, she sees what's going on, she's not too sure what's going on, but she knows it's bad. She activates her Sharingan, and that's when Jigen sees her eyes, and he will make some comment on, oh, he recently disposed of a man with eyes very similar to yours. He might comment on the red colour of her eyes, and obviously her, Naruto, Boruto, essentially everyone is going to know exactly who he's on about, Sasuke, because he's the only other person with a Sharingan. And then this would obviously spur on a burst of rage you'd expect within Naruto, and it could potentially give us some much needed progression to Sarada's Sharingan. Now, one thing, however, which as I'm making this video, it's kind of just come to my mind that maybe she won't progress her Sharingan at all, because maybe it's a little bit too, not too early, but maybe it's a bit out of place. Maybe that, you know, isn't something that needs focus. It's a bit kind of out of nowhere, maybe. I'm not too sure, but I think have to happen soon, and I think it would be some very good, a good way to intertwine what's gone on with Sasuke, because at the minute that's just been sidelined. We have no idea what's gone on, but as the reader, from the small hints we can pick out, it doesn't look good. The other thing I could potentially see happening is obviously Boruto's Karma. It resonates with Kawaki's. If Kawaki activates it, Boruto activates it. Now, as we know, Kawaki has gone on to transform into what some people have dubbed the Otsutsuki form. Obviously, like I said, hopefully we'll get some more information on that in this upcoming chapter from Jigen. But could we potentially see, depending on what the situation is like when Boruto gets to the scene happening at Naruto's house, could we potentially see Boruto transform as well? Or, similar to what, like I was saying to Sarada, is it a little bit too early for that? Now, sticking to the topic of Kawaki and this brand new power that he's got, I think it's safe to say that he unwillingly transformed into this form, because he's never stated that this was a possibility of karma. He never said that karma could do this. Not even a hint towards it. And this guy said that he told Boruto everything he knows about karma. You know, he said how it gives you a power boost, you can absorb, fight back, all that type of stuff. Not once did he even hint to a potential transformation or a horn or anything connected to the Otsutsuki. He didn't even know who Momoshiki was. So I think the likelihood is that he just didn't know that this was a power that he could tap into using karma. I mean, even Jigen was shocked to see it, so this goes to show that Kawaki's never been like this before, and really it probably shouldn't be happening. But that makes me think, what else could Kawaki do without knowledge of it? I mean, could this potentially be, and I said this in my review, could this maybe be the beginning of the end for Naruto? Now, whether it's death, I personally don't think it is, or if it's him just being sealed away. Whatever it is, I think it'd be a great way for us to end out this arc and going to the time skip, presuming that's what's next, like what everybody thinks. Not only would it act as a suitable catalyst for the likes of Boruto and the others to go and train, but likewise it would also act as a good catalyst to Kawaki's spiral into darkness. Now, if he ends up getting rid of the man that changed his life for the better, and the man that he looks up to, and the rest of the village find out, or even worse, see firsthand what Kawaki's done, then he's instantly going to be outcasted by the rest of the village, because essentially he is then the reason why the man they all love, their Hokage, the saviour of their village and the world, he's the reason he's not around anymore. And it would be very similar to how Naruto was as a kid, and they're trying to obviously create these symbolic parallels between Kawaki and Naruto. And I think this would be the best way, or at least another way, to have those parallels intertwining between the two characters. I think obviously Naruto is outcasted because he had the demon sealed away inside of him, and he was essentially the reason why the fourth Hokage was no longer around. Kawaki, on the other hand, he's going to have this, not demon within him, but he's got the karma seal, Jigen. It's a curse that's been unwillingly put onto him, like with Kurama, and he's then essentially indirectly the reason why the Hokage is no longer around. And I think that could be what causes him to become outcasted, like Naruto was, by the village. And I think that this would play right into Jigen's plan. We know from last chapter that Jigen is trying to play mind games with Kawaki. He's trying to plant the manipulative thought within Kawaki's head that Naruto and the whole village are simply just spying on him, waiting for the right time to get as much intel on him, that they don't trust him, which obviously we know is false. And so if the village were to turn on Kawaki, it only makes Jigen's goal of manipulating Kawaki even easier. Now, whether all of this happens in the next chapter, well, likelihood is probably no, it won't. But it's the type of direction that I can see this arc, or the tail end of this arc, going in. That being said, Boruto chapters more often than not are full of just unforeseen twists and turns that nobody sees coming. So really, none of this, absolutely none of this could come true. But let me know in the comment section down below what you think of it. Would you like something along these lines to happen at some point, whether it be in the next chapter or by the end of this arc? Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're not already to become a member of the Senpai Squad, and like I just said, let me know what you think could be happening in the upcoming chapters of Boruto in the comment section down below. I'll be seeing you guys in another video, but until then, peace.
執着の血を焦がす寡黙な炎おびき寄せられた神々の化身恐れを知らぬ剣が貫く
目指す場所とはまだ見ぬ定め近づいてくる決戦の時